And so that's the process. So the result of that process. Now remember, we started out as a new regional nonprofit working with the local group, working what ultimately became 800 people in the community who galvanized around the vision plan. Plan was then, because we had partners, we got the town to adopt it as law, made it part of their urban renewal plan, and then because they made it law, we then worked with the town and an engineering firm to adopt the vision plan for the Prospect Avenue corridor, which was the corridor we worked on in Newcastle, 1.5 mile strip, to make the zoning that would allow for development according to the vision, and made it a requirement for developers to follow that vision plan, and work with the town and the local community development group to have an RFP process to attract quality developers. And we had about 20 developers show up to that meeting and selected 4 or 5 developers. This is the signature site, or what was going to be our pilot project, ANC Development Partners, which closed on August 9th of this year. Former vice president of the New York City Partnership is the developer, and the builder is Les Bluestone, the head of the New York City Partnership. A small deal, but a quality builder and an experienced developer. This is 5 affordable units, 2 family, and 2 market rate units, 2 family, with a pharmacy, the community's first pharmacy in 30 years. The next one is the Gateway Project, which is, I think, about 57 units of rental housing. All of it is at market rate or just below market rate. For us, affordable is about 10% below market rate in Nassau County, because of the way our median income is very high. But some of this is going to be 50%, targeted to 50% of AMI and up to 80% AMI, and some of it is going to be market rate. The next deal is, I'm not sure if it's this one or the next one, the gentleman who wanted to buy a store. We have that's just the next one. This one of the developments is a live workspace for people interested in owning a storefront, living in the building with a second family renting, and it's structured so that you can purchase the property and do it that way. You might want to lease out the ground floor, or you might want to operate your own business. Sort of the old style Brooklyn brownstone with mixed use development. And this is another one. This is the location of the first supermarket on the corridor in 30 years. There's a bank. City National Bank is going to be the first bank on the corridor in 30 years, and we're applying to the New York State Banking Department for a banking development district, because there's no banks within 1.5 miles of that corridor, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to get that. And this is another one of the developments. I believe these are rentals as well, affordable rentals. All told, what's the next slide? You can't read this, and I hate to do that in PowerPoint, but I just wanted to show you the $62 million of development on 8 properties. The red is the government participation from my office, about $6 million in home funds and community development block grant funds in the developments. 200 units of housing, about 50 home ownership, and 40-some thousand square feet of commercial space. All of it came out of a visioning process that began with the faith-based community coming together and discerning the why. The how came next. The why came first and the how came next. And it's because the why was discerned that I believe we were able to sustain through the difficult times all of the headaches. And interestingly, and I know that it's an act of God, that consistently throughout the process I've had a role, first as the head of a regional nonprofit that was responsible for bringing folks together around the deal, and then through no action of my own being asked to come into government over the department that administered all of the federal subsidies. We've had friends in state government, low-income housing tax credits in many of the deals, as well as subsidies from HFA, and friends in the not-for-profit community assisting the local development group with their funding. And it's been a tremendous process. And so we very much believe in helping organizations first discern the why, faith-based institutions, and then getting to the how. I just want to do a little plug for a conference that we are doing through my Community Development Corporation in May with the New York Theological Seminary and several other partners. We're going to talk more about this, really from a slightly different perspective. I think before you're able to go to a developer or to talk with a prospective intermediary or a group that's going to help finance your housing, I think understanding your mission and focusing what you do on your mission and how to do that and galvanizing yourself to go forward in development has to happen. And that's where we come in. We're going to talk more about that. And New York Theological Seminary happens to be where I graduated from, and they've agreed to co-sponsor this event. You're all invited. If you can't read that, give us a card. We'll promise to email you or mail you an invitation. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patience.